Hello, I am Sunita Sharma, your chemistry teacher, and today's topic is vapor pressure and Raoult's law. Okay, so let's start this topic with me. Okay, so before we start Raoult's law, we have to understand what is the meaning of vapor pressure. Okay, so first we have to understand what is the meaning of vapor pressure. Then we'll start Raoult's law. So we can understand vapor pressure by this diagram. Okay, so you can see this is water container, and its lid is tightly packed. Okay, good. So you can see now this lid is tightly packed. Okay, after some time when you start heating this, surface molecule leave its position and convert it into vapor. Okay, after some time when you start heating, surface molecule leave its position and convert it into vapor. Okay, and so one question arises in your mind: why surface molecule convert it into vapor? Okay, so I have answer to your question, because we know that the surface molecule have high kinetic energy as compared to bulk molecule. Okay, so surface molecule have high kinetic energy as compared to bulk molecule. That means bulk molecule have low kinetic energy, so they can collide very easily. Clear? Okay, so what happen after some time when suppose you will take 10 molecule of water. Okay, then all molecule get converted into vapor. Okay, 10 molecule you have take and all molecule convert it into vapor. Then this state is known as equilibrium. Clear? So this state is known as equilibrium. Then after equilibrium, your water molecule, that means your vapor, get back to its position and exert some pressure. Okay, exert some pressure in unit area. And this pressure is known as vapor pressure. Clear? So this pressure is known as vapor pressure. Okay, I hope you understand this topic. Okay, next we'll move to what is the difference between volatile and non-volatile substance. So it is very easy. That type of solvent which convert it into vapors, this type of solvent is known as volatile. Okay, so solvent which can convert it into vapor. Okay, so the solvent which can convert it into vapor. Okay, that type of solvent is known as volatile solvent. So you have two type of example. First one is water, and second one is honey. Okay, as you know, your water can convert it into vapor in room temperature. Okay, and honey don't. So this type of solvent which can convert it into vapor is known as volatile solvent. Okay, so we have several examples of volatile substances like water, ethanol, glycerin. Okay, and we have several type of example non-volatile substance like honey, like chloroform. And then chloroform, it is very good example of non-volatile substance. Okay, and CL4, that is carbon tetrachloride. Okay, so these are non-volatile substance. These are not convert it into vapor phase at room temperature. Clear? Okay, then next we have to understand what happens when liquid evaporates. Okay, so what happens when liquid evaporates? So first we have to understand what is the meaning of evaporation. Okay, so what is the meaning of evaporation? What is the meaning of evaporation? So before evaporation, we have to understand boiling point of any solvent. Okay, so boiling point of any solvent. So boiling point generally we can define when solvent convert it in vapor phase in a particular temperature known as its boiling point. Okay, when your solvent convert it into vapor, this temperature is known as boiling point, and the boiling point of each solvent is fixed, but evaporation is not. Okay, we can take example like boiling point of water, it is fixed 100 degree Celsius, and evaporation is not fixed, it depends upon the impurity of water. So what is the meaning of evaporation? Evaporation generally, evaporation, if I define this definition, so when your solvent become vapor phase below its boiling point, this point is known as evaporation point, or this process is known as evaporation. Clear? Okay, so next we move to Raoult's law. So first we have to understand vapor pressure. Okay, so vapor pressure, you have two type of container or conical flask. You can see you have two type of conical flask A and conical flask B. Okay, if they are separate, they have its own vapor pressure. Okay, that means pure solvent have its own vapor pressure, and you can represent like P naught A. Clear? And second one is P naught B. Okay, so you can define as, this is the vapor pressure of pure solvent A, and this is the vapor pressure of pure solvent B. Clear? Okay, then next, suppose I take a beaker. I take beautiful beaker, okay, like this. Suppose I take beautiful beaker like this, and after some time I fill this beaker with A and B. Okay, so I fill this beaker, this is pure solvent A, and I want to change color. Okay, so this is pure solvent B. Clear? Okay, when both solvent mix to each other, it's known as solution, and you can say that the first one, which is in less quantity, you can say the A is solvent which have higher quantity, you can say this is solvent, and which have low quantity, you can say this is solute. Okay, so B is your solute. But before this, we have to understand, before previous slides, we already understand they have own vapor pressure. That means pure solvent have its particular vapor pressure. Okay, but after mixing, the vapor pressure get converted. When we will mix together A and B, the vapor pressure get disturbed or distracted, and this type of vapor pressure is known as partial vapor pressure. Okay, partial vapor pressure. So we can see okay, so we can see, or we can denote that when vapor pressure the partial vapor pressure of molecule A, the partial vapor pressure of molecule A is PA, and the partial vapor pressure of molecule B is PB. Okay, so we can denote like this. Okay, so next we can understand Raoult's law with this diagram. Okay, this is very funny and very interesting diagram. Suppose you take two type of component, like component A and component B. They react to each other. Okay, they react to each other, and component A is ice cream and component B is your chicken. Okay, so when they react to each other, so this is the axis, this is the your, okay, this is your x-axis and y. Okay, this is your x-axis and this is your y-axis. So x-axis I have take vapor pressure and y-axis I have take mole fraction. Okay, so for component A, this position is 0. So here the mole fraction of A is 0. Okay, and for component B, this position is the 0 and here xB is 0. Okay, after they react to each other, and this is the highest position of A when all A molecule react. So this is the this is the vapor pressure of component A. Okay, so this is the vapor pressure of component A, and then second line we can see that when B molecule react all over, so this is the vapor pressure of B for pure B. Okay, clear? After that, when they react to each other, we can join both points and we can find final vapor pressure or total vapor pressure, and we can denote like this: P equal to PA plus PB. Clear? We can denote like this: PA plus PB. Okay, clear? So we can conclude Raoult's law. The Raoult's law says that the vapor pressure of a solvent, suppose I am taking PA, that this is the vapor pressure of solvent A, is directly proportional to the mole fraction of the solvent. Okay, mole fraction of the solvent. Okay, so we already learned about mole fraction in our previous class, but I want to explain again how to we can calculate mole fraction. So for mole fraction, the formula is zeta A is equal to number of solvent, that is N1, number of moles of solvent, divided by number of moles of solvent plus number of moles of solute. Okay, so we can find in this way the value of mole fraction. Clear? Okay, so come back to the formula. When we will remove this proportionality sign, we will find some constant. So PA is equal to zeta A, and our constant is for pure solvent P naught A. Okay, or we can write like this: PA equal to P naught A and zeta A. Okay, so with the help of this formula, we can define the Raoult's law. So we can define the Raoult's law. So vapor pressure, so partial vapor pressure of solvent is directly proportional to the vapor pressure of the solvent and its mole fraction. Okay, I hope this topic is clear for you. So Thank you.